Beloved, if you are watching this video is for you. I have been dealing with not an excess of intrusive thoughts, but the ones that are prominent, urges and whatever, are particularly strong. And it's like dysphoria on steroids. I've noticed it in other people because I've been working to control my own. I'm noticing my own. And in doing so, I'm noticing that of others. And I'm seeing this in others as well. Not just the people immediately around me, like at work, like it's as I go out and about. And I've talked to other people and they've noticed it too. So I mean, there is obviously something going on in the world. I've been following um, a number of patterns, things going on. And there's a person who is claiming some worldwide spiritual religious significance in what is currently sort of an unofficial capacity, but he may or may not be in one way or another empowered to perform a few miracles or do some other interesting things to convince people. And I'm not going to say his name. And of course, there's the whole pandemic and all the way that the world's been run for the last, 80 to 100 years or whatever. A lot of patterns to watch. But because this dude is in the picture too, for falsifiability's sake, we must separate at this time the two possibilities. One, that what is happening is a genuine thing that is happening, or two, it is a thing that is being foisted or contrived into happening. And is if it is the latter of the two, implies people attempting to force God's hand. And in the former is that it is the hand of God at work. So assuming that the dude is genuinely believes himself to be what he believes himself to be, and the signs or wonders that he is showing to his followers have some actuality to them, some power. And in the other, he's just a guy with fervent followers. And I honestly don't know which is which in the world today, to say that I'm not sure quite yet. I've not reached the point where I can really say definitively that it is. I know that God is real. And I will get to that on the end part of this video. But whether what patterns I'm observing are that or not, on a grand scale, I don't have enough information. I'm supposing so much based on what I can deduct from the background of everything. And there's a lot of collective unconscious stuff to it because I don't consciously get into a lot of it. And so it either creeps in through dreams or the synchronicities that I happen to notice. If there's any, content around the synchronicity, that may sound strange, but I can use it effectively. Using that, I'm not 100% because I haven't witnessed any signs, nor do I particularly wish to, from said dude. There's a whole other thing to be said that I don't want to get into at this time about the organized religion from which he derives his believed authority or whatever it is. I don't want to get into that. But I do know that since he has been public and vocal, certain things seem to have changed. Coincidentally, it took me a while to even think that there might be a connection, and maybe there isn't. But about the time that his thing became a deal, some things started working differently in my neighborhood. So if that puts itself into any of the actuality portion, that's a big deal. It's an important place marker in what bit of the apocalypse we are at. So I found that to keep that serene peace while observing this kind of thing requires significant, like, repetitious prayer of certain psalms. 46, 144 together, 23 and 91 together. You're not going to believe it, but 69 and 42 go pretty well together. But that Psalm 69 is for when you are already in the pit, before you realize you were in the pit. It's not when you just pray on a sunny, nice day because it's a good day. But the Psalm 91, really, really potent, really good serenity once you really get your mind on what that's about. You apply it to yourself inwardly, not just reading some words. So you might not know this, but that's how I pray, is with Psalms. Not just thinking of the Psalm number, but digging into one and not trying to analyze. I'm not getting into gematria or anything else like that. I may ponder on what the gematria of the number of the Psalm is, and that's it. But to figure out, get into whatever it is that it's about. If, like I said, you don't want to get into one that's really dark and deep necessarily on a beautiful day unless you're willing to risk having your day ruined. But as general purpose as well, Psalm 23, very common one for me. Now got it to the point that I pretty well memorized it. So I had seen an explanation by a rabbi talking about Psalm 23 being divided into two parts, with one line being the divider between these two parts. And that the first part is, because it's a Psalm of David, that's when David was, the first part is when he was the shepherd before everything. And then the second part is as a king and the concerns of each. And that common line in the center. So, ponder. Ask yourself, in all of the craziness going on, if you want to find the peace, is a psalm still true even when you're not praying it or reading it? And as I recite the following psalm, I will put my hands like this at the moment of the connecting expression between the shepherd and the king. And hopefully, beloved who view this, you will understand and you will find that peace. And you know that such a thing exists within all of the Psalms. Psalm 23. The Lord is my shepherd, I shall not want. He makes me to lie in green pastures and leads me by still waters. He restores my soul. He leads me on the paths of righteousness. Yea, though I walk through the valley of the shadow of death, I will fear no evil, for thou art with me. Thy rod and thy staff, they comfort me. You prepare a table for me in the presence of my enemy. You anoint my head with oil. My cup overfloweth. Surely goodness and mercy shall follow me all of my days, and I will dwell in the house of the Lord forever. So, amen. So, is a psalm true? For thou art with me. Is a psalm true, even if you're not reading it or praying it? That's what you have to kind of think about. If you're feeling disconnected, if you're feeling abandoned, you're not alone. And maybe it's your time to use your own strengths to work your way out, or to find what specific ways you must communicate with God in order to navigate this particular maze of life. It's not magic. It's a matter of kind of playing Marco Polo for guidance. May sound funky, may sound weird, but the law of threes isn't coming after me. So, the name, the four-letter name, Yod, means hand or deeds. Hey means to behold. Hey. Vow basically means and. And then another hey, because deeds, the hand of God, as it were, deeds, behold, and behold. This is a roundabout way of saying that which is real. For thou art with me. Is it true, even if you're not reading it or thinking it or praying it? I like to think it is.